Hello guys, my name is Marco. Hope you guys are having a good one. Uh, I just came from watching Toy Story 5. And let me tell you something. I really did enjoy Toy Story 5. It was I thought it was really good, right? But it wasn't perfect. And I want to talk about those things. Now, here's the thing. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. So, there's that. Here's the thing. I grew up with Toy Story. To me, I had the the Woody and the Buzz. Right. I still have my original, Woody right here. I would love to get like another one, just because this Woody that I have here is missing one of his hands. I don't know what happened, and also like the thing on the back's not there, and his hat is gone. I think I throughout the years I've seen his hat somewhere, but now I have no idea where it is. Maybe I'll go to Amazon and see if I can find certain stuff. So that's pretty cool, and I wish he can be able to make that sound because he used to do make sound. Because in the back had this controller thing. There's that. Pretty cool. But here's the thing. Toy Story 1 is really good. It's one of my favorites, right? We got introduced to Andy. We also got introduced to Sid. I think his name, yeah, Sid. Uh, and we also got introduced to Buzz Lightyear, right? And in his box, it shows his backstory. Also, he's a new toy, so his box shows backstory and all of that. Toy Story 2, we got introduced to Jesse, which is great. Also, Bullseye, the horse, which is also pretty cool. And also, we got introduced to the old man that looks like a miner. I forgot his name. There's that. And we also got introduced to the villain. I forgot his name, but it's the dude that works in that store. He works in that store. He puts on the chicken outfits in the commercials. His glasses, big dude. So there's that. And we got introduced to the multiple of Buzz Lightyears because that movie. There's shelves a new Buzz Lightyear, so there's that. And Toy Story, I really did enjoy it, right? But um, Toy Story 3 is one of those films that I really did enjoy for the most part, but there are things that I'm not so much into, but that's my personal preference, right? For instance, like Toy Story 3 ended beautifully, but I don't like the idea that it took place in a daycare because that, like, I just don't care. I wish the setting was more. I like the colors because in the daycare there's a lot of toys that have a lot of color and stuff like that's great. So there's that, and I'm not really into that daycare thing, and also I don't like how they make like Buzz. His batters are like not great, and they make him like talk Spanish or they change him up a little bit. I don't like that because it makes it seem like he's a comedy relief thing, and I don't want that for Buzz. Okay, yeah. So there's that. That's my hot take on that. Other than that, everything about Toy Story 3 is freaking great. So there's that. Beautifully. And then came out Toy Story 4. I didn't see Toy Story 4 because I was so like, why they're doing Toy Story 4? Toy Story 3 ended beautifully. Why do you need a fourth one? Because what, you want to, because the ending of Toy Story 3, they gave like the toys to Bonnie or something like that. I don't care about Bonnie because I don't know who she is. I care about Andy, but not Bonnie. But I was okay, but it doesn't matter because it's the ending. That's it. And Toy Story 3 was more about Bonnie, meaning a new female like character and whatever. And I just don't care. And also, why would you make a fourth one? It feels like a money cash grab thing. Um, I never saw it, but I sort of understand the story because I've seen previous like theories about Toy Story 4 or Toy Story things, stuff like that. But eventually, I probably might want to. I know that Woody stays by the end. That's all I know. So is that right? And then we get to Toy Story 5. I want to see it because I feel like the story of Toy Story 5 was really interesting. The idea of technology, like the iPads or whatever, kids playing that and not playing with toys anymore, I found that to be very interesting. Because people said that, look, man, kids, the real people buying these toys, well, yeah, kids are buying it. But the kids are buying them, they're playing for 5 to 10 minutes, and they get bored and they bust out the iPad. Let's keep it real, right? So I found that to be very interesting. Now, when I came to see this movie, I knew two things. Number one, I knew the whole concept of like technology, iPads being bad and stuff like that. And then I knew that Jesse was going to be one of the main focus, right? Okay, it's fine. I saw it, I was paying attention to it. Throughout the entire movie, I felt very like I wasn't bored. I was very entertained. It was a really good. The story was good, whatever. But I feel like the story was like it took it to a direction where I was like, it's good, but it's like it's kind of like you're modifying like the way Toy Story is, and you change it to something else. Which the thing that you're changing it to is good. It's not bad, but it's not really what I wanted Toy Story to be. You know what I mean? So this film is really good, right? But like I said, the things I have is first of all like the technology thing. It's great. I love the way they handle that, right? But on this film, they did focus a little bit more on Jessie and her backstory because they did an interview and they talked about that. Now, the thing that I have issues with that is that in Toy Story 2, they didn't mention Jessie's backstory. And on this one, they kind of revisiting it again. So at that point, I'm just like a little bit annoyed because I'm like, you already did Jessie's backstory. Why do we need to go this again? The only difference that I noticed from this is the number one is that this one is kind of like they give more context and more information, which I'm like, I don't think, did I really needed that? I don't know. So there's that. And also the other thing is that on the original backstory in Toy Story 2, we didn't see Jessie's owner or original owner. We didn't see her face or anything like that. And then when you see it, it actually is kind of sad. It really is. And I really do enjoy that scene. Every time when I watch that movie, that part just makes me feel sad. I don't know why. But we don't see Jessie's owner's face. We see silhouettes. And I thought that was really interesting. And I don't know, that does make it sad. But in this movie, we do see the owner's face. Basically, they made it so we could see the owner's face. I don't know if that's more sadder or less sadder, or I don't know. Personally, me, I feel like without, maybe because I grew up with that version of like her backstory, maybe that's why I feel like that one's more sadder. I don't know. So there's that, and it does focus on that, and that's one of the issues that I have with it because I'm like, it feels like you're recycling something instead of coming up with like a new story, right? Which you do have a new story, but you feel like you needed more, so you add Jesse's backstory. Also, Woody, he does come back, as you guys see in the trailer. He's back, right? But think about Woody, since he did stay in Toy Story 4. Now it just feels like he came back, but for how long? I feel like he's separated from the toys, and I'm like, why? Or I don't like Toy Story 3. Like, here's the thing: Toy Story 1 introduced Buzz Lightyear, right? Toy Story 2 introduced Jessie and Bullseye, right? Come join the gang, let's have fun. And then this freaking penguin that makes squeaky sounds, right? He's able to sing now at the end of the movie. That's great. And then Toy Story 3 is kind of like, and he's going to donate his toys because he doesn't play with them. He's going to graduate, go to college, or he's going to leave them, abandon them, right? Donate them. And then Toy Story 4, I'm assuming takes place in a carnival, like they get lost or whatever. I don't know. I haven't seen it though. Toy Story 5 is kind of like Woody, he just came back because I'm assuming they need help or something like that. But how long? Like, he came back, it's like, oh yeah, because he stayed. I'm like, dude, like, what the hell are you doing? What? Toy Story 6 is Buzz gonna like leave or what? What's going on exactly? But in the movie, they're not saying that Buzz is gonna leave. I'm just theorizing there. Just a theory. I'm saying like, what they're gonna do next if they make a Toy Story 6? Is Buzz gonna leave? So there's that. So there's those things. And Jesse's backstory, like, even though I did enjoy, they give more context and stuff like that, but then also like, it's like when I went to see it, they had a connection with like, I know it was an emotional moment with her, and then Jesse's like, what's it called, not the original owner, the one that has Buzz and with Bonnie, yeah, her owner. There's that, and there's a few connections and a few emotional things that happen with that, but it's very difficult to connect with it. I could feel it was an emotional scene, but it kind of feels like I can't really connect with that because mainly because I'm a dude, right? I feel like if you were a girl, you would have given this movie a 10 out of 10 because you would connect with that and the dolls and the emotional part. You would connect with it. So I'm like, that's a movie like that. But to me, since I'm a guy, it's like I understand it's supposed to be an emotional scene, but I just like I don't feel the emotions. And that's a problem. 'Cause I feel like Disney has been going around and favoring like female empowerment stuff like that, which is like it's not bad. It's just that I wish we can have like both equality, like male and female, but whatever. It is what it is, man. And even though that story was good, I was like, it kind of didn't feel like it was meant for me. Dude, I went to see Toy Story because I grew up with Buzz and Woody and stuff like that, and I did like Jessie, but she was always to me was a secondary character. At this point, like Jessie was like the main. In this movie, kind of feel like Jessie was the main character, and Woody and Buzz. I was happy to see them, but they were like kind of secondary characters, and the rest of the toys were like taking more like a backseat. They're just there just to be there, and that sucks. I wish I could get more. But it is what it is. I really did enjoy this movie. There's that. I wish it would have had like a little bit of like. I wish in this movie it would have been. I would have given it a 10 out of 10. If not only did they give just his backstory, which I'm like it's fine. We already got the backstory, but whatever. If they would have gave us like a freaking Woody backstory, I know we got Woody's Roundup thing, but it was so interesting. Like give Woody's backstory and then kind of connect like Bonnie's like not Bonnie, but like Jesse's owner kind of like reveal because in the original her owner they would have revealed like what's it called like she's connected with like Woody or something like that. Saw a video online where people theorize that basically like Woody and then Jesse are like relatives, so that'd be kind of interesting to like show something like that. Like, but no, we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that, and it is what it is. And also, like when you go to the store and to the shelves, the characters that have been selling out like a lot is actually Woody and Buzz. I see somewhat of like Jesse's. So I feel like after the movie like ends, I'm gonna be like Jesse's gonna be like it's gonna be gone. Maybe it's gonna be gone. I don't know. So there's that. These are characters that I grew up with, that I enjoy, that I love a lot. It's just that those are some of the issues I noticed. And the whole tag, the way they handled that was beautifully done. Everything about that. And that's it. That's basically my review. It's like this movie is an amazing movie. Go watch it. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's just that is something I'm gonna tell you guys that I came across that was like very like 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 I understand you made Jesse the main character and the main presence, but Toy Story was about all of them. But I guess so because like they made I don't know Woody. I don't know if Woody not being like Woody came coming back is great, but then after that it's like after a while it just felt like Woody and Buzz it's just like since they took a backseat because secondary seat I kind of felt like they were not important. It kind of makes me feel like damn like I wish it was more focused on them, and I wish it was more focused on all three of them, right? But no, it's what it is. Hope you guys have enough for today. See you guys later. And yeah, and bye. That's it. I give it an 8 out of 10 if you guys are curious because, just an 8 out of 10 for personal preference. Bye.